Welcome to the tutorial on installing the media library. The first thing you need to do is get to our SBLinteractive.org website. You need to be a registered user in order to be able to download the SBLi free builder and the media library. So once you've done that, you can log in. And let's go to our download section. So the easiest way to do that is to click on download free and you will see all of our download options here. Now all you have to do is download the media library by clicking on this one here, and that's going to download a zip file for you. And once you've done that, you can show it in the folder, and what you've got here is your media library.zip file. And if you extract that, you'll see the setup.exe file. Just double click on that and say run, and it's going to run through installing just like any other installation process. I agree. Yep, that's fine where it's going to install, and there it goes. And we've installed successfully, so we can say close. Now we don't need that folder anymore, and we actually don't need this website anymore. So I'm just going to close that down. Icon, which would be on our desktop, so we can just double click on the builder icon. And there we go, we have the builder opened. Now, to actually activate the media library, we need to use it for the first time. So I'm going to use it just by clicking a location, which is done by the add tool over there. And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say I want to add an icon from the media library. Now the first thing it's going to say is that the media library setup, you need to browse to a folder that you want to store the library in. So traditionally that would be your pictures folder, and that's fine for me, so I'm going to say OK. Now what it's doing is actually processing where all of the free icons and images are going to be saved. And as I've said in a previous tutorial, if you already installed the SBLi media library on a previous version, it will remember where that is and you will not need to reinstall the media library. Okay, and there we go, we've got the media library installed. How the media library works is you can load a pre-existing media library or a different media library if you want to. We're not going to do that because this is the only one you've created. You can add a category, so here are all your existing categories which come with pre-populated icons. So if you wanted to add a category, you just click on media library and then add a category, and it'll come up there. So I'm going to say buildings, just as an example. Now if I wanted to, I could actually create a subcategory as well. So if I click on animals or business, in fact let's do that. If I'm at the business, I want to move my buildings to be up there, and you'll see that it becomes a subcategory of business. Okay, next one, we can also import a folder. So if you have some images that you've already created and you want to import it for a particular project, then we'll say import folder. And I happen to have one that I call commonly used images. Commonly used images. Now, here's a common mistake. I'm currently sitting on business. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to cancel. I want to be on media library before I import that folder. So import folder, Audrey's library documents, public documents, no, my documents, commonly used images. Say OK. Do you want to import subfolders? Yes, I do. And say OK. So now we can see all of the icons and images that I've previously created. the next one, you can rename a category, of course, you can delete a category, or you can import individual images. So if you've just got some one-offs that you want to add to maybe some of these, if I was wanting to import some office images, I could just go import media and then select a couple of images. Okay, in media items, you can rename an item or delete it. If you double click on an item and you want to give it some more keywords, so at the moment, let's have a look at this one. So when we're previewing a media library, a media item, you can see that it has a name called account books. So that is what it's being searched on at the moment. If you want to add some more keywords, just click in this folder here and you could say maybe textbook and say add, and it will keep on adding those words, and so when you do a search it will find all of those things. So it's a little bit handy for specific projects where you might want to label something to do with biology or the like. Okay, and then finally, once you've actually looked, actually let's check one more time. I can show categories, so that shows the folders. Search will get me to here, so let me look for a icon, let's say office. That brings up everything to do with an office. So we're actually going to choose one. I'm going to say that, and once I've selected it, I click on import item, and there you can see the icon has now changed to that image. The same is done for the environment. You click on the plus sign here to add an image. We can go to our media library, and now I'm going to search for office, and this time I'll choose one that's, as you can see, much bigger, and say import items, and you've got an environment background. The same goes when you want to put an image into the content page. This is your insert media library, and at this point we might be looking for, let's say, a desk. There we go, we do have a desk. Yes, of course. If you've taken photographs to use with your project, and often these days, you've got your high definition 8 megapixel cameras, they're going to be quite big in resolution. So SBLi will ask you if you want to resize it, and that's up to you and what you want, and I'm going to say yes. And there you go, we've got our image in there. And don't forget, this is a toggle so that you could see the full page, and when you want to see your 4 windows again, just click on it again and it'll reduce it back to your 4 pages. Okay, that's everything to do with the media library. Thank you very much.